In an ironic turn of events, Jonathan Lee Riches, a Kentucky man known for his litigious pursuits, has taken legal action against the Guinness Book of World Records, GBR, after being crowned the world's most litigious man. Unhappy with the title and nicknames proposed by the record-keeping institution, Riches filed a lawsuit challenging the publication of what he deemed as inaccurate information. Before we proceed, please subscribe to this channel, like and share the video. Riches, who boasts a bizarre record of over 5,000 lawsuits against individuals and organizations, including his mother, friends, judges, and even iconic figures like Bill Belichick, Martha Stewart, Britney Spears, and the Eiffel Tower, initially gained attention when he sued his mother, claiming she failed to raise him properly. Surprisingly, he won the case, securing a compensation of $20,000. The Kentucky man continued his litigious spree, accumulating around $8 million in compensation from various cases when he learned about the GBR's plan to feature him as the most lawsuit-happy man in its 2010 edition. Riches promptly filed a lawsuit against the institution. He argued that the GBR had no right to publish his legal endeavors, referring to them as his legal masterpieces. Riches contested the accuracy of the recorded number of cases, claiming he had filed more than 5,000 lawsuits, not the reported 2,600. During the hearing, he asserted that the GBR had sought his consent multiple times, but he rejected it due to the purported inaccuracies. Ultimately, he emerged victorious in the case, securing a compensation of $50,000. However, Riches' legal escapades did not end there. He served prison time for wire fraud at the Federal Medical Center in Lexington, Kentucky, during the lawsuit against GBR. Released in 2012, he continued his litigious pursuits and faced legal troubles again in 2018 when indicted by a federal grand jury in Arizona. The charges included making false statements and other frauds related to an attempt to file a lawsuit against Gabby Giffords, posing as Jared Lee Lowner. Jonathan Lee Riches is a convicted fraudster known for the many lawsuits he has filed in various United States district courts. Riches was incarcerated at Federal Medical Center, Lexington, Kentucky, for wire fraud under the terms of a plea bargain. His release date was April 30, 2012. He was arrested for violating his federal probation in December 2012, when he left the Eastern District of the state of Pennsylvania without permission. He allegedly drove to Connecticut and impersonated the uncle of Adam Lanza, the shooter in the Sandy Hook Elementary School incident. Since January 8, 2006, he has filed over 2,600 lawsuits in federal district courts across the country, some of which have received considerable press attention. Among the more famous defendants of his lawsuits are New England Patriots coach Bill Belichick, former President of the United States George W. Bush, former Attorney General of the United States Janet Reno, Martha Stewart, NASCAR driver Jeff Gordon, former Atlanta Falcons quarterback Michael Vick, entrepreneur Steve Jobs, celebrity blogger Paris Hilton, Somali pirates, and pop star Britney Spears. He also sued the late Benazir Bhutto, Pervez Musharraf, and the Immigration and Naturalization Service on November 7, 2007, to prevent him from being deported to Pakistan and tortured upon his release from prison in March 2012. There is no evidence beyond this lawsuit of any attempt to deport Riches. On April 9, 2008, Riches filed a request for a temporary restraining order in a U.S. District Court against Grand Theft Auto publisher Take-Two, developer Rockstar Games, FCI Williamsburg, and Grand Theft Auto itself, claiming that the defendants put me in prison. The inmate stated, defendants contributed to plaintiff committing identity theft. Defendants' games show sex, drugs, and violence which offend me. Riches continued, defendants put me in prison. I face imminent danger from violent inmates who played Grand Theft Auto who will knock me out and take my gold Jesus cross. Riches attempted to intervene as a plaintiff in the Madoff investment scandal, claiming that he met Bernard Madoff on Harmony.com in 2001 and taught Madoff identity theft skills. In May 2009, Riches filed for an injunction against the Guinness Book of World Records, seeking to stop them from listing him as The most litigious individual in history. Guinness spokeswoman Sarah Wilcox told the Huffington Post that there was no such listing and no plan to create one. Most litigious man is not something Guinness World Records has ever monitored as a record category. She said, the action, like the vast majority of Rich's filings, was dismissed. Some of Rich's defendants are not even persons subject to suit. These include Adolf Hitler's National Socialist Party and the 13 Tribes of Israel. One lawsuit, in which George W. Bush was the first named defendant, also includes another 783 defendants that cover 57 pages. They include Plato, Nostradamus, Che Guevara, James Hoffa, various Buddhist monks, all survivors of the Holocaust, the Lincoln Memorial, the Eiffel Tower, the USS Cole, the book Mein Kampf, the Garden of Eden, the Roman Empire, the Appalachian Trail, Plymouth Rock, the Holy Grail, Nordic gods, the dwarf planet Pluto, and the entire 3 Mile Island accident. Several Rich's lawsuits have been dismissed as being frivolous, malicious, or for failure to state a claim upon which relief could be granted. Willis Hunt, the U.S. District Court judge who dismissed Rich's suit against Vic as farcical, opined that his lawsuits were promotional. As per 28 U.S. Code 1915, he is barred from proceeding in forma pauperis. In July 2018, Rich's was indicted by a federal grand jury in Arizona. He is charged with making false statements and other frauds after an attempt to file a lawsuit against Gabby Giffords while posing as Jared Lee Lowner. A collection of Rich's lawsuits was published on April Fool's Day of 2016. In November 2018, Rich's self-published Nothing is Written in Stone, a Jonathan Lee Rich's companion, which contains a selection of his lawsuits as well as an autobiography.